Jay Feinberg is a cutting-edge nonprofit leader who is passionate about Judaism, life, family, and community. I am grateful for the opportunity to publicly honor Jay for his leadership, service, personal example, and communal involvement. Through his efforts and guidance, Gift of Life has worked in 45 countries, conducted more than 8,000 donor recruitment drives, registered more than 250,000 donors, and has been responsible for facilitating over 3,000 bone marrow transplants. Jay's life-saving work transforms families and communities in profound ways. Throughout the entire process, Jay treats every donor, recipient, and their family and friends as family. I have learned a great deal from Jay and feel fortunate to call him a friend and colleague. I look forward to working with Jay for many more years. Areyvut is thrilled to be recognizing Jay Feinberg with the Community Leadership Award.
So my story with Gift of Life actually starts while I was working in Lower Manhattan as a foreign exchange analyst at the Fed and started to feel like I had a bad case of the flu. Went to the doctor and subsequently was sent to the hospital. And a resident in the emergency room told me that he was pretty sure that I had leukemia, which was confirmed the next day when I was told that my best hope of a cure was a bone marrow transplant. I was obviously devastated that I was diagnosed with leukemia, but gratified to hear that my life could be saved with a transplant, but the key was to find a donor. And it wasn't until I went to a large cancer center here in New York City when I was told that unfortunately I wouldn't have an equal opportunity to receive that transplant that so many others could have. And I asked him why, and he said it was because I was Jewish. And I just couldn't fathom why my ethnicity, why my religion would factor into my ability to receive a bone marrow transplant. And it wasn't until I learned that tissue type is inherited like eye or hair color, and that your best chance of finding a genetic match is someone who shares a similar ethnicity. But that Jews were woefully underrepresented in the registry in great measure because of the impact of the Holocaust that it severed bloodlines, that I realized that there was a big problem, not just for me, but for countless others who were Jewish and wouldn't have an equal opportunity to receive the transplant that they needed to cure their disease. And so Gift of Life started when in that little room, that little conference room where I was meeting with the doctor, he told us a lot about the leukemia and knew a lot about searching and matching, but didn't know about something that I call the Jewish mother effect. My mother was in the room, and like any Jewish mother, she was determined not to let her son die. And Gift of Life was born through that determination around my parents' dining room table to find a match for me and for the countless others in similar circumstances. So the impact of Gift of Life has really been tremendous. You know, it started obviously in the grassroots campaign to save my life, which started in northern New Jersey, in West Orange, New Jersey, where we ran our first drives and very quickly mushroomed thanks to the publicity that started to take place. We started getting calls from all over the country and all over the world, people wanting to run these bone marrow drives to help find matches for people. And it was remarkable to me, the turnouts. I'm a big believer that each person has within them the power to make a difference in this world, the power to repair the world, tikkun olam. I believe that it is not only something that we can do, but something that we must do to help others in need. And it is a remarkable thing that people have the ability to save a life by just simply spending a few hours in a chair donating stem cells from their blood to help another person get a second chance at life. It's just a tremendous mitzvah that one person can do for another, to give the gift of life.
About 3.5 years ago, got a call from my daughter, Rivka, and I could tell from her voice that something was wrong. And she said, they suspect I may have something called acute myelogenous leukemia, AML.
No one ever expects news like that, but here we were, just going about our business and our lives, changed overnight. It became apparent that she would need a stem cell transplant to increase her chances of a cure. Her siblings were tested, and we were very hopeful that one of the two siblings would match, but that was not the case. The transplant center at the hospital started to canvass the registries, and I remember getting in touch with Jay Feinberg just to learn a little more about what's involved with finding a match, how wide the net should be cast. And very early on, we got word, Rivka got word, that there was a potential match. It's not often that one gets to see a miracle being performed. And it really was miraculous. When we looked back a couple of months at where we had come from. And it all moved so quickly, first down and then starting to move up, really thanks to the fact that she had found this match in the Gift of Life Registry.
Working with Areyvut has been extraordinary for Gift of Life. Areyvut inspires young people to get involved in tikkun olam, repairing the world. And that's very close to the heart of Gift of Life. We need to get people inspired and involved early on when they're young, so that when they turn 18, they have the ability and the desire and the motivation to get involved and do their cheek swab and become a bone marrow donor. But it all starts when they're young through things like their mitzvah projects, which we've worked with Areyvut on, or other events like our walks, where Areyvut comes and is with the kids with their mitzvah clowns. It's really been wonderful and very important in Gift of Life's work. Through my involvement with Gift of Life, being a transplant recipient and having the opportunity to lead Gift of Life as a bone marrow registry, what I've come to learn and experience is that it only takes one person to make a difference in this world. And it started with my bone marrow donor, Becky, who was the very last match at the very last drive tested, who showed that it's the power of the individual and that it only takes one person to save a life, one person to make a difference. And that's why our connection with Areyvut is so important, because what Daniel does with Areyvut is inspire one student, one young person at a time to make a difference, to focus their efforts, to build their Jewish values, and to get involved in tikkun olam. And I can think of no greater gift than any one person can give to another person and to their community.